Hi, I'm Grant. This is Dad Crafted. And the boys wanted Mandalorian helmets, so we made our own. Alright, let's go. This is a 3D printing project, so obviously you would need a 3D printer. I have pretty much the cheapest thing on the market. It's an Ender 3, but I don't really complain about this much because while it might print a little bit slower, it does print really smooth and really well. I found the files for this project on Thingiverse. You can find those links in the project description below. This works handy for the 3D printer that I have because it prints in 8 separate sections. There's basically 4 parts for the dome around the top of the helmet and then another 4 parts for the bottom. Each part's printable in small fashion. Takes around 10 to 12 hours for each part, except for the back of the helmet, which is the couple pieces, which are a few hours a piece. So we've got all the pieces. These are for my brother because he has a printer that goes much faster than mine. We thought we had to do the supports. I'm going to try these on mine without supports and just see what happens, but so I got to clean this up, and then these all will form together and glue up somehow. Aside from the supports being a giant waste of filament, they're also kind of a pain to get things apart without breaking the rest of your piece.
Yeah.
To glue the helmet all together, I'm using JB Weld's 1-minute epoxy. I just like the JB Weld brand because they give you this replaceable cap, so you can reuse the bottle. You don't have to glue everything up at once. How big is it? Perfect. It might be a little big. We're gonna need some cushion for sure. So, bike cushions and bondo. You wanna try it on? Need a little cushion at the top, so that'll be up. And then...
Does it fit you?
No. Probably got too much hair.
Can't fit you. Can't fit you.
So as I said earlier, for helmet number 2 I decided to give it a shot and try to print these pieces on my own without supports. And it actually worked. We made it. Just a little bit there, but that's all on the inside. Under 12 hours. Yeah, buddy. For the second helmet, I decided to do 4 pieces at once, and I used some black epoxy from JB Weld. The color doesn't really matter, because everything's getting painted anyway, but these top pieces all lay flat, so you can glue all 4 pieces at once. Here I'm using some fiberglass resin. This is to coat the inside of the helmets to make them a little bit more sturdy. This stuff is super toxic, so try to do this outside and definitely wear a mask. This is a 2-part resin, so I would probably recommend, if you're making 2 helmets, I wouldn't try to do 2 at once. I would just mix enough to do 1 helmet and do that. I tried to do 2 at once and ended up with a bunch of little bubbly fragments because stuff was solidifying by the time I got to the end of this. Alright, I'm about to try the Bondo glazing putty. First time ever doing it, but that's what everybody says to do. I've also heard it stinks, so I have a mask and I'm outside in the cold. And I'd rather not be doing this now, but Halloween's almost here and we're on deadline, so let's go. The Bondo that I bought here, you'll see, is also a 2-part solution. You can actually get this as a 1-part, and I would recommend doing that just for ease of use and speed to get this done. I actually ended up using the 1-part for the second helmet that I actually bondoed a week or so after this first one that was due by Halloween. But I will have links to all the products that I use for these helmets down in the description and also on the website dadcrafted.com. Alright, so you can definitely see my seams a lot more clearly than I hoped, so I'm gonna have to do another round over some spots. Stuff stinks. This is 3 coats of primer. We're far from perfect, as you can see. Seams and some definite muck, but we're doing a special paint job and Whit wants it weathered. So battle worn, all this will look fine. We hope. Let's go paint. To battle scar it up? Looks pretty wild if you ask me. Alright, I have this drawn out. And I have this Venom visor. Sure, I'll tape this on and then I'm going to cut bigger around the outside of the slit that I need just so there's extra room to put the glue putty on. And hopefully it'll form nice inside the mask. We'll see. So unfortunately, I need to be much more exact because this stuff is pretty rigid. I'm not going to have a lot of wiggle room, so I'm probably going to have to cut really close to this channel, and I definitely need to take more off the sides. Holy cow. I think I forgot. Took my thing off, and yeah, back to the bandsaw. Now we're going to take this putty and knead it into little balls and try to put it around just inside the green marks that I made. All right, let's try.
I'm trying to test. Perfect.
Does that feel soft up top?
Yeah.
Is it snug though? I mean, if you run around, is it going to jostle your head a little bit?
Perfect.
Perfect. I think we might do it. How about the sides though? This is what I'm worried about. See, that's it. Go take a lap.
Okay.
Awesome.
You like how I was running around?
I love it.
The gun?
So I learned my lesson on the first helmet. This time I got a cheaper, thinner, flimsier, and easier to work with visor for the mask. I could cut this one with scissors, and it was much more pliable and just a lot easier to fit inside the mask.
Put them on. See it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Woo!
Woo! There you go.
Oh, yay! Crunchy.
How's it fit?
It stinks in now.
All right, well, we won't talk about that.